but the wolf can go through like small places. So it's like a puzzle game that you have to do 2-player, and we're going to play that, I think, Friday's the plan right now. But you know how we are with plans on this channel. Someone slap me with the plan command, please. We do try our best here. It's called Blank with a C. It's a little deer and a little wolf, and it's really freaking... Is it a wolf or is it a fox? No, it's a wolf. Wolf cub and a fawn. Here, I'll just read the thing. Experience the poetic tale of a wolf cub and a fawn in the spectacular world of Blank. Lost in a sudden snowstorm, they will have to lean on each other in order to follow the footprints their families left behind in the snow. I don't know which one I'll be yet, but I'm pretty sure me and Nikki are both short, so we can't decide on who's the tall character based on that at all, but I want your sweater. It's so cute. Let me tell you about this sweater, actually, because I have no idea how to wear this thing, but I'm so excited about having it because this is what happened. We went thrift shopping a few days ago. All the boys wanted to go thrift shopping in LA, see what it's like. We went to a street that actually is normally not my favorite, and if I'm honest, I can't remember which one it is because I get the two like big thrift streets that I know of confused with each other, and it's either Melrose or Magnolia. I don't know which one is which anymore. This store, I don't know what store this is from either anymore, but it's on the same one that has an Urban Outfitters on it, whichever of those two streets has an Urban. But, so we went thrifting, and a lot of these stores are a little bit of a trick in LA sometimes where they say a vintage. They are vintage, it's not a lie, but they're a vintage shop. They're not a thrift shop. So the stuff in there is not cheap. It's not inexpensive secondhand clothing. It's expensive secondhand clothing. It's like $80 for a shirt that I could buy new at Urban Outfitters. One of the shirts, or one of the stores we went to had vintage, the sun is gone. One of the stores we went to had vintage band shirts, and I literally was wearing my vintage Nirvana shirt that I bought at Urban Outfitters new for cheaper than whatever secondhand ones they were selling at the store. Those ones, the ones that come specifically from a tour that only exist from if you were on that tour, those are kind of cool. I get why they're expensive. But this sweater, this came from a store that had some of the coolest secondhand pieces I have ever seen at a store, and they were all so inexpensive. Not like dirt cheap. You know, it wasn't a super cheap thrift store, but one thing that Wilbur got that I actually found, and I was going to buy it first, but I was going to buy a different one. There were two. Was this bomber jacket. It's like, you know those jackets? I have one. It's denim here, and then the sleeves are white. Bomber jacket kind of deal. They had one, and it said Costco on it. They had two, actually. I almost bought the other one, but I was literally wearing a bomber jacket that looked exactly the same, so I didn't decide to buy it. But it says Costco on it, and it was $40, and it's so cool. I think it's sick. I kind of want to go back and get the other one because the sleeves were brown on the other one, and it was a dark denim, and the one I have... Ma'am, did you just try parkour off the... What's going on? She's having a freak out. She's having a zoomies moment. So anyway, it's some Costco denim jacket. But then I found... Let me give you a full view. The only thing that I wish about this is that it was a size up. It is a small. It's even still a little big in the sleeve department for me. But I wish it came down lower because I like oversized fit sweaters. So like, I feel like if I wore this, look at there's a man on a horse. Also the back. There's a little freaking cottage. I wish it came down lower because I'd like to wear it with a skirt, but just with the skirt barely peeking out. But it's a little too short for that. A little bit too just the correct size for me. Ralph Lauren, 100% wool, handmade, $40. That felt like such a good deal. I don't know how much this thing costs in the first place, but let's all be honest. Anything handmade that comes from a major brand is undercharged in the first place. Unless, and also we just shouldn't buy, to be honest, any handmade things from major brands. Don't buy like crocheted stuff from Forever 21 or anything like that. But this is secondhand. And I don't know how much they charge for this at Ralph Lauren, but it's so cute and I love it. And I feel so cozy in it. Is it scratchy? Galaxy, I'm going to level with you. That's the one problem with this shirt. I am wearing a t-shirt underneath. I might even go for like a long sleeve shirt later. Although I thought I would be bothered by the itch more, but I'm not. You know, wool is scratchy. That's just kind of what you're signing up for if you put on a wool jumper. It is just a little bit scratchy. I'm okay with that. I don't even actually think I need the t-shirt, but it is so damn cold. I had my my straightener heating up, And I started using it, and then I looked at it, and it was heating up again. So I put it down because I was like, oh, oops, I started too early. I thought it was done heating up. I thought I saw the light was not blinking anymore. And then it stopped blinking, so I started using it again. And then a few minutes later, I looked at it, and it's cold, and it's heating up again. And I was like, is it really this cold in my house? I'm like the kind of person that I grew up with not a lot of money, so I don't put the heat on unless absolutely necessary. I think it's gotten to the point where it's an everyday, the heat's on at all times kind of a vibe now here. That'll explain, that'll answer your question, LT Shepherds. I'm just crazy, but I have it on for like little periods of time, but then I'll turn it off when I get comfortable enough. But I just need to leave it on. What is that sound? I don't have a text. That was a lie. That was a lie text. No, it's not my house that's the problem. It's me. It's me not putting my heat on. It's me having not had my heat on all day today, and then I decided I was cold. Star probably hates living with me. She's fine, though, because she's so incubated and also chunky and has all of the covers to be sleeping under at any time that she wants to. But yeah, I just didn't turn it on until about 10 minutes ago. Oops. But anyway, there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of things that have happened. Here's the saddest thing that happened, though. Hi! Can I show you to the stream? Do you want to... Come here. Hey. Come here. Put that on the meow counter. Hi. Come on up. Come here. Oh! Come here. Star. Come on. Look at that chunk. Yeah. You're such a sweet little angel. You are a sweet... Mine. She's mine. Maha. What do you think of my sweater? Oh. I tried to like rotate her, but she didn't like that. So let's... There you go. You're okay. Put your butthole away. All right, well, that didn't last very long. She is kind of a lap cat sometimes, but on her own terms. That's the banjo. Don't touch that. That's expensive. Please don't touch it. Star. Oh, she wants trouble. She wants trouble. Where's the sun come from all of a sudden? I can't deal with the change in light. All right, here's the saddest story that I have to tell of the day. Wait, do you play the banjo? So here, let me explain. She's gone. Let me explain the instrument very quickly, briefly. It is not a banjo, because apparently banjos are an incredibly different instrument. It is not just like a little weird-shaped guitar. It has a whole other way of being played, and they're very difficult, I've been told. That is a banjo lele, which means it looks like a banjo. It looks like just a little banjo, a little mini banjo. Shaped body, entirely built the same. Little wood, you know. Yeah. She's in zoomy mode. I think she's gonna poop soon. But ukulele strings. 4 plastic strings is learned exactly the same as a ukulele. Is essentially a ukulele, but a banjo body. So it's learned. If you learn a ukulele, you can play that. It's the same instrument, but the body's different, so the sound's a little different. I'm not going to play you a song because I don't know any songs. I know one song I lured her on the night we met, and I forgot it the night I learned it. But I'm going to learn more, and I am going to do literally an entire stream of just learning songs together because I just think that would be fun. I think that's going to be an after Christmas, before New Year's, just kind of a chill vibe stream while we're all kind of coming down from... I just watched her vault over the ottoman. You're crazy. She didn't jump off of it. She jumped over it like it was a freaking track race. Hey. She's freaking out. I can see her in the mirror. Oh, she's in big zoomy mode. Oh, yep, that's the zoomy. Anyone know the zoomy meow? That's like... It's like a weird, deep, guttural sound. Like the beast within is coming out of your cat. Like a demon. She's having that kind of a moment. She's going to poop probably any second, I guarantee it. Anyway, the sad story. Let me tell the sad story. Okay, I want to ask a question. Anybody here have experience with extensions? You know, I talk about my hair every stream. It happens every time. Let me also just show you what's happening with it. So this explains why extensions are only good for like 3 move ups, and then you eventually have to just get rid of them because there's not enough to work with anymore. We all remember how my hair looked when I first... We're going to ignore that. How my hair looked when I first got them, right? This is a lot shorter than the original time that I got them. There's a lot less hair. This is my favorite of my extensions so far. It's the least amount of hair that I've had in them. I'm also 2 extensions less than when I first got them because one fell out, and I'm going to tell you what happened to the second one in a minute. But it's a lot shorter than that initial like big bulky long hair I had. But it looks so much more natural, and I feel like my natural hair is almost there. Like that's too short. Wait. This is my natural hair. That's like a good 3 inches probably to go. But I feel like this is the perfect amount. It's not too bulky. There's 2 less on my head than originally. I actually really like it. They aren't going to last another session, though, because you keep losing hair every time you move them up. And you trim them, blend them, and all that. But I do love where they're at right now. However, the first extension came out, I think because it was placed really low to begin with, and as it grew out, it got into the zone of getting conditioner on it, and I think I'm not allowed to put conditioner on my scalp because I think it loosens them, and that's how one ended up just falling out in the shower at one point. So we lost one, and I didn't tell my stylist about it because I was happy. I thought it was a lot of hair to begin with, but also I paid for it, so I was going to wear it until it fell out. And that one did fall out. The second one, I don't know how or why. I think that the placement of the ones really low is bad for me. And I think it has to do with something, the way that I sleep on one side. Because 3 days after I got all my extensions moved up, they were nice and fresh, all like nice, neatly placed. A little tight. They're usually a little bit tight the first day or two, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. I slept and I woke up, and one of my extensions at the back, like kind of bottom, was like hanging on by a thread. There was no more hair attached to it, and I didn't know if like my hair had pulled out, if it had broken off, but there was like 4 hairs keeping that extension attached to my head, and it hurt really bad because it was just, you know, it's weird. You can tug at all of your hair once and it doesn't hurt, but you tug at 2 or like 1, it hurts really bad. I had to cut it out. And so I had to see what happened to that bad boy because I cut out the little hairs that were just, I had no other choice. I wasn't going to be able to make it to my stylist anymore. So I cut it out. I got scissors up in there. I was very careful. I only cut the little hairs that needed to be cut. But when I got to look at that extension, all of the hair that it had been attached to did break in my sleep. So there is a little line of hair somewhere in my scalp. I'll never find it. It's a very fine line of hair, but it's fucked. It's just broken at the root. So I don't know how many more times I'll do extensions, or what I know is I want to do at least less of them on my head at once, and probably none that low anymore, because I think I just rubbed the bottom, like the back bottom of my head against my pillow too much in my sleep. And it rubbed them all together to a point where they're all just broke. So, but I love how they look now that I'm down to. I love how they look right now. A lot less hair than I started in terms of extension hair. But also I have less hair on my actual real head, so I'm a little nervous about that. But I think when I get the next set in and I go orange and all that, I think I'll do about this many, even maybe 2 less than this. Make it more my natural length and just in like a little bit fuller instead of going for length like I was before. Although this little extra 3 inches, I like that. I think before it was like 5 inches longer than my natural hair. And I'm going to tell him maybe none at like the very bottom back of my hair, because I can't be trusted in my sleep for those to last very long. I was okay, but I was very upset for like 2 days before because I didn't know what was going on with the extensions. I didn't know if they had just been kind of, I could feel that it was vertical. The tape-ins, they go like this. I could feel it was like this. and I thought maybe all of my hair kind of just slid. So I didn't know it had actually broken. And I thought, you know, maybe it's still actually attached to all of that hair and it's just kind of slid around because the glue maybe was just still a little wet or something. And I left it for an entire day, and every time I brushed my hair, I would pull at the extension, which, like, one extension is, like, this amount of hair, but it's attached to only 4 that are actually still on my head, and it hurts so bad. What is the super secret show? So, I can't tell you. It is still super secret, but I can show you some of my outfit. I can't tell you who it's with. I can't tell you what the show's for or what it's about. It's only 1 episode. It's just kind of like a trial, see how this type of a show does, see what kind of platform maybe it feels the best for. It's very much an experimental thing that we only did the 1 of so far, but everybody involved in the entire production of it, on all sides of every team involved, whoever is involved, I can't name any names or any brands or anything like that, everyone loved it. They loved it more than they thought they could. They thought they were only going to get maybe like 5 minutes of like footage, and maybe it's like a tweet of kind of like a little show or something. But I did so good, they said, that they have hours to work with and make into like a full, proper episode of a show. I did good. I did good. They wanted me because they saw me host Minecraft Live that one time. And, you know, I was on TV very briefly. But it went so well. This is the thing with, like, productions like this. This is what Megan was telling me, because Megan helped me out with it a whole ton. I don't think I actually could have even done it if I didn't have Megan's help and, like, coaching and support behind the scenes the entire time. Shout out Megan. She literally did the most to make sure I was comfortable. I was like just absolutely doing my best on set, and also everybody else involved, because I was just a host of a thing and there were other people, and she was like really, really, really good. It is not a scripted show. No, I can't say too much, but there was a little bit scripted of like an intro, but that's it. But she literally did so well to help me out. And what she was telling me is that a lot of these productions, they don't expect the talent to be great to work with inherently. I think there's sometimes people out there that are just not really great talent to work with, especially if they're already like big name people. Apparently they can be pretty difficult. Or when they're not big name people, but they get a big head and a big ego. So they didn't know how it was going to go. They didn't know how well everyone was going to work, and they were honestly planning and expecting the worst. But I'm a nice person. I honestly was too nice. And Megan even, like, she was definitely behind me to make sure that I didn't even be, like, a pushover about anything. And if something didn't sound right, or she thought I didn't give my best energy, she's like, let's do it one more time. I know you can do it better than that. And then I did. And now they were like, we have so much to work with here. We didn't think we'd be able to walk away with that much. So we'll see what comes of that. I still can't say anything else about it. No possible release day. I literally have 0 information. I got to bring home a little gift from the set. And I also can't show you that. But as soon as I can show you, which they're going to tell me, I think because they don't even know what it's going to be yet, or like where it's released, what kind of a thing it's going to be. It might be a while. I'm sorry, I'm so congested and sick sounding. That show took a lot out of me. Not this show, the show last night, the different show. Lore acting paid off. My improv roleplay from like Coloc paid off. Hosting Minecon paid off. And if this ends up being more than a 1 episode thing, I'm available. We'll just see. I can't wait till I can show you what I got to bring home from the set, though. I've never gotten to bring a thing home from a thing that I did. And so this is cool. I asked Minecon if I could bring home part of their set. They said no. Disney did not let me take anything home. Not even the clothes. I didn't take the clothes home either. But this is one of the coolest things I've gotten to walk away with. And I just can't wait till I can show you. Hi, baby bean. The thing is that the thing they let me take home is a dead giveaway for who's involved. Hi, baby. Hi. Can you see her? Oh, no, she's just sitting. She's just sitting on the floor. How big is it? About this big. It's big. It's a big gift. It's so cool. And if you didn't see me tweet maybe the outfit I was wearing, I didn't actually show the full thing. That's also a funny story that I don't know if it'll end up being funny or just like a little bit sad. But the outfit I wore... Oh, I don't actually have... Okay, hold on. Let me find it if it's in my deleted. I'm actually... I wore like a little turtleneck long sleeve under it because... It without the turtleneck had a little bit of midriff and that wasn't allowed, which is fine. Let me see if I can find where I maybe deleted. Yeah, here we go. I like the outfit better without, and I'll show you both. I think the outfit without the turtleneck underneath is way better. But here's what I wore for the set. Let me just put the volume down. The brightness, Christ. So this is the full outfit. Those white docs are my favorite thing in the entire universe right now. I'm obsessed with them. I think they're the cutest. Like, I've been wearing them every single day since I bought them, and I bought them for this set outfit. But it's a little blue high-waist short. The sweater is the moneymaker piece here. But here's the outfit without the turtleneck, which I think is better. But there's a little bit of tummy action, and they didn't want that because, you know, family-friendly kind of deal situation. But this little sweater... Wait, where is it? I have it here somewhere. This is my sweater. I own it now. Let me see if I can find it. It's in my house. I gotta show you this thing up close because it's one of the best, like, cutest little pieces I've ever seen. And some people were like, where'd you get that sweater? And I almost don't want to tell you because it's not... It's a little embarrassing. But it's so damn cute. I needed it. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, I got it. This actually, I have to tell you. I have to tell you where it came from because I have to tell you the entire story of what happened with this sweater. Because there's like an entire story to go with this. Of like something I did to it the night before the shoot. Let me just tell the story. Let's just start from the beginning. Here, I'm going to show you the shirt. The live in-person shirt. It's an adorable sweater. It's incredibly beautiful. I think also handmade, possibly. I had Megan's brother David help me style for this because they just kind of like gave me the wardrobe budget because they trusted me, considering I am like a little bit into the fashion kind of deal. But so we went to kind of nicer stores. We went to Nordstrom and Bloomingdale's. I don't usually go there, but god damn, that stuff's expensive, but so cute. They have so much stuff in my style, and I can never go back in there because I just can't be trusted. I don't think my bank account could afford a single piece of those clothes. But it's all such my style. They have so much like preppy collars, houndstooth. Oh man, it's so nice. Tweed. I'm a big fan of all that stuff because it ages really well. What are you doing? All right, I'm going to let her in the bathroom for funsies because she's never allowed in the bathroom. But I know it'll distract her for a little while, so I won't have to deal with her for a little bit. Yeah. I also really want to use that TikTok voice filter on her as soon as I can get a video of her screaming. Can I put a video of her screaming that I already recorded into TikTok to get that voice filter on her to see what it sounds like? You know which one I'm talking about. I know you know. I definitely have to do that. It's gonna be so funny. Okay, so I think that we were in Nordstrom for this one. I think this one came from Nordstrom, and they had a bunch of items in all different sizes and things. So when I tell you where this one came from, it's not like I was in the wrong section or anything like that. But you might be able to guess even where I'm going with this, but they had like these really big baggy sweatpants that were like handmade knit kind of, and they all had like these little itty bitty details, little embroidery. She's wailing in the bathroom now. This one has these little flowers attached with these little leaves in all different colors and stuff. And this is like the full thing. I love the way the color is kind of blocked out. The blue on the edge of the sleeve, but then the peach on this side. It's so stinking cute. And they had a ton of different pieces in this similar style, like all sorts of different mixed colors, color blocked in like a really interesting asymmetrical way. All kinds of sizes, all for adults, except this one. I don't know how it's from the same, it was organized by designer. So they make some for children, and this is a children's sweater. And when I first put it on, it was a little tight on my arms. And so this goes into the horrible thing that I did have to do to this sweater that was very terrifying, but it worked. And I'll tell you, I'd probably do it again. I think it did almost ruin it a little bit though, but it was just like a little bit tight on the arms, and that's why it was cropped. It's because it is meant for children. But here's a trick that I was taught. You can loosen sweaters, like the fabric, if you soak it a specific way. I Googled all the exact instructions and stuff, but you can soak it in either like a couple tablespoons of fabric softener, or the one that I did is baby shampoo, and it kind of just loosens everything. And I was like, that's a really great trick just for any clothes that you find when you're thrifting that are maybe just a little bit too small, but are a sweater material that has potential to give. I also believe wearing it will kind of make it give a bit. So I soaked it overnight or for a couple hours in warm water with baby shampoo. Here's the problem. It has colored flowers on it, and warm water makes colors run. And none of these colors ran except every single one of these little blue ones. Star! When I pulled it out and I saw that it bled with blue, it did it all on the inside, though. So by some miracle, only the blue leaked onto the inside, and on a couple spots on the outside, you can kind of see a little bleeding. But I got in there so fast with like a Tide pen on the outside, and it worked enough that like you can't see any other issues with just like very barely. You can see like a little fadedness of blue next to it. Not even really. But the inside stained blue everywhere where one of those little blue flowers was. And that was the worst, scariest thing to see, because this was also not a cheap sweater. It's from a designer in Nordstrom. But it's okay. The wardrobe budget paid for it. I didn't. But I'm never washing it again. I'm literally never washing it again. I'll wear it and I'll never wash it. It's so cute though. I also just don't understand why somebody would buy a sweater so nice from an actual like literal designer in Nordstrom for a 2-year-old, like a little baby. Who would put this? Also, this just looks too big for a baby. The size baby that it's meant for, I think it's just too big for that, if I'm honest. Like, this is way too big for a little guy. Let me button it up so you can, like, see it. It's so cute, though, right? And they do make some pieces for... Baby! Okay, I'm gonna have to play with her in a little while. But I'm still here telling some stories. I got some more. Star! Can you hear that? Like, this doesn't look like... It's obviously small and like a little cropped sweater, but it doesn't look like it was made for a 2-year-old to me. I feel like this is massive, almost, for a 2-year-old. I don't know. Also, yeah, rich LA parents. Whew, that is some bougie stuff for a child that's going to grow out of it in 2 months. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I don't think that is I just couldn't... I don't... Maybe I grew up too poor, but I feel like even if I ever had the money, I never would spend it that way. I don't know. Looks like a toddler shirt, not gonna lie. All right, well, I'm gonna wear it anyways, because you know what? I look like I'm living in a toddler's bedroom anyway, so I don't really care. That is way too big for a 2-year-old. Am I not wrong? That's what somebody said. That's way too big. Maybe like a 5 to 7-year-old. I thought so too. But it is meant for, which is too big. It just is. It was for me. It was made for me. It was perfectly for me. Only a little bit tight. I loosened it though, and it worked. And I'll probably never do it again because it was terrifying the entire time. But it fits me now. Oh man. Hey, I like me some pastel colors, some cute aesthetics, some stuffed animals, some video game things. I don't care if it looks like I live in a children's bedroom. I really don't care. I don't believe that when you become near 30 or 30, that you have to stop having fun. You can do that. In fact, anyone that's ever said, girl, you're almost 30, stop. I'm going to put their birthdays for when they turn 30 in my calendar so that I can tell them it's time for them to stop having a life and stop having fun, because fuck you for saying that to me. I didn't know you had to be boring. I didn't know that was the rule. I'm getting a hammock for my bedroom. Please tell me you're not actually going to actively sleep in that. I feel like that's the worst thing for your back. Here's the 30-year-old coming out in me. Don't do that for the sake of your back and neck. When you turn 30, you just do taxes. That's your whole life. You don't have a life anymore. You don't have interests. You're not allowed to like colors. Get rid of all your stuffed animals. Stop playing video games. Stop being an interesting human being. You have to become boring. Those are the rules that we have set out for you. I don't understand that at all. No more fun. Not even cake. I don't like cake, if I'm honest. I don't really like cake. Why is it either or? That's what I'm saying. Man, just let people live. Although I'm fully expecting when they turn 30, they better be the most boring person on the planet. They better only wear gray because those are the standards that they set. So I'm waiting very patiently. And I'll be 40 still wearing my pastels and looking cute as hell. Oh, I'd rather have cheesecake than normal cake too. I actually have cheesecake in my fridge because after the entire shoot was done, me and Megan went to cheesecake to celebrate. Because I'm not going to lie, for 2 weeks leading up to that shoot, I was freaking out and panicking and stressed about it the entire time. Because it was like a really big deal and it was a whole 12-hour day of just straight work. And it was a lot riding on me. It was a lot of pressure and responsibility on my part to do my job really well. And so I went in there incredibly prepared and they thought I was going to come in not knowing what I was doing and going to be like a difficult talent. But I knew what I was doing. I just don't like cake rise. But I do like garlic bread. You got me with the garlic bread. And it's not fair because I'm half Italian. You can't do that. Oh, man. So, I think the only stories I have left are that I went to the last 2 Lovejoy shows in LA, and they were so, so fun. The last one that was last night, I went with Eric H. and Quackity, and we had such a fun time. And then he brought Quackity on stage, and he sang Welcome to the Black Parade on stage, and it was so cool. It was really, really cool. You were, I saw you in the queue before Friday. You were so pretty. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I also wore basically the same thing to both shows, so if you saw me at both, don't comment on it. I was wearing the same thing, but a different shirt. Because I lived in fishnet, my cat socks, and my white Docs, which are the only shoe I'm interested in wearing for the rest of all time, until I get a new shoe, and then it's the same deal with that shoe. I actually have to sell, I think, we expect a Depop, and also the actual video of trying everything on in my closet, probably after Christmas, because I'm going to have to unload a lot of stuff out of my closet onto Depop. And I have a couple old Docs that one of them I truly just never wore. Like 2 times I wore them. I think that it's time I kind of sell them forward. And they're an incredibly great secondhand pair of Docs because they're only worn like maybe once or twice and never even out of my house, just for photos for Instagram. But I'll probably sell them for like $20 less. So if you're my size, keep an eye out for those. I have a couple Docs that I'm just like, oh, ma'am, you can't lay on that sweater, please. That was too expensive. Okay, fine. But thank you. I'll just take this back real quick. That's not for cats. That's definitely not made for cats. Actually, I'm going to put it right there. Oh, she's going to lay in her spot. Nope, ma'am. Hold on. I have to time him out. Oh, and I got to hang out with Quackity, and he didn't attack me with the leaf blower, which he mentioned. Apologizes for every time I see him now. But I thought it was so funny when it happened. And I think he took a picture that he's going to post at some point to prove that we've made amends since then. However, I'm still plotting my revenge. But don't tell him. I'm going to get him back. I'm going to get my own leaf blower. Oh, there she's going. Making bread. Making biscuits. What's your favorite of the Lovejoy songs performed live? I'm actually glad you asked that because I do have a very specific opinion about this. I've seen their shows a bunch of times now. I saw a couple of them in Brighton. I saw the first one they ever did before they played as Lovejoy. They were Lamp with Sock. They have improved so much since that first show, too. Like, wildly. So good. And I think my favorite one that is performed live is Cause for Concern. I just think it's a badass song, and it's one of my favorite ones that they do live. I think that one, Taunt in the Fall, are like the coolest live performances. But that one hits different live. It's so cool. Like, I like the trumpet, and almost sometimes you can't hear the trumpet well enough in the live shows from the back. I was at the back this last one, but yeah, that one hits different live for sure. And I love the trumpets going do 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 do, you know. Do more Empires. I got an Empires episode coming out probably in about a week and a half, but I have a Rats SMP episode coming out first where I found a place in the basement that's like deadly to get to, and I got to it. I went in, I survived, and I came back out. Am I maybe a changed rat forever? Maybe, who knows? Watch my episode. And then Empires, but Empires on Hermitcraft episode is what it's gonna be. When are you posting the video where you tell the rest of Shrub's story? I'm like really trying to hustle to get it done before the end of the year. And I'm honestly at the point I'm at right now. Everything that I have to do is pushed off till after Christmas, except for these next episodes of things. Those will come out in the next like few days or something. But any big projects are all probably going to get done after Christmas. Once it's filmed, it's the easiest thing to just edit and release it. So I think it's still going to be out by the end of December. But worst case, very early January. 100%. You were so funny in Tommy's video. Oh yeah, I want to watch that later. I was so glad it was released. It was really, really fun. It was so fun. That was like just a really fun group of people. Me and Nikki held hands as fences. It's a great time. You should definitely watch it. It's a good video. And there's my cat. Boop. I do think I'm going to get my voice back by tomorrow. I already feel it coming back a little bit. I feel like I'm losing that that little rasp. Love the time lapse in the new Empires video. I learned how to use replay mod very minimally. I learned really quick how to do a itty bitty baby time lapse moment, and I think I definitely want to use that a little bit more, especially because I'm going to be building a lot of little houses. And now that that episode is out, we can build a lot more little houses together on stream. But that'll probably be after we come back from the Hermitcraft server. Though we can go back and forth. I tried to download the replay mod, but I couldn't use it. You'll probably have to look up a tutorial because there's like a whole specific process for how to save a replay mod clip. You have to have, it's like really weird and confusing. Look up a tutorial. I cannot help you because it's not something that can be explained out loud at all, but definitely try and look up a tutorial. In fact, I think Pixel Riffs has one, and I'm pretty sure his is the one I watched to figure out how to do it. Do you have any plans for the holidays? I leave in 1 week on the 18th to go home to my family on the East Coast. I'll be spending a week with them there, but I have like a almost full setup to have like a little baby setup over there. I have a light, I have a mic, I have the Logitech webcam that we used to use, and a laptop. And I think that'll all be enough to be able to do like little at-home cute. We'll be able to watch videos together, do chatting, do Minecraft building even still. I'm thinking we'll play Slime Rancher while I'm home. And I'm really excited. We'll be back to the old quality. I also have like a really cute bed in my mom's house. That's like, it's a little bit not me. My mom put it together mostly, but I added some pillows to it. It's kind of a cute little, it's a day bed and it's kind of really cute. So you'll get to see the bedroom that is my bedroom when I go visit home, which you've never seen. You've never seen this bedroom because my parents actually have moved house a couple times now since they left New Jersey. But I'm not bringing Star. It is not worth putting a cat on a plane for 6 hours to spend a week. She's going to have a cat sitter, the cat sitter that she knows and loves already so much. I probably will never bring her on a plane unnecessarily like that. Cats aren't a good travel companion like that, unless it's a specific cat that's like cool and chill with it. But, yeah, it's not worth it just for a week. Although I'd love to bring her home. I don't think she'd love to be on a plane for a week and then back on a plane for another 5 hours. I don't think she's built for something like that, personally. But I also, there's a lot of reasons why I couldn't bring her home either. Also, one, my dad's allergic to cats, and also so is my sister. She doesn't live in the house, but she's there and will be there for the holidays. And also, we have a dog there that would absolutely rip her to shreds. Our dog is not kind to small animals. So, no. She'll never come to my parents' house. Definitely never. Are the first and second empires connected? Here's the best way to explain how they may or may not be connected. Because for each empire, each one of us as individuals on the servers, it will be a different answer to that question you just asked. Are mine connected? Yes, I just revealed that in a very big piece of lore recently that everybody got wrong. I didn't think it was that confusing, but I guess I put a lot of faith in people knowing the original lore really well. But I also said that you don't need to watch season 1 to understand season 2. But also minimally, I felt like I explained it without needing to know the past super well, but everyone got the lore wrong. I'll talk about it a little bit. We'll do spoilers, so if you didn't watch my last Empires episode, you're going to want to close your ears, but I will do spoilers today. Mine are connected. I think Sausage is connecting his too. Everyone's doing it differently. Some people, zero connection. They don't want it to be connected to their past empire at all. They want like a fresh slate, fresh new character, whole new D&D role, you know what I mean? Which is why the Evermore is not 1,000 years later where the Undergrove was, because that would mean everybody has to be built on top of Empire Season 1. I can't do that to everybody. And even if somebody else's empire, they want to say that it's built where their old one was, honestly, it's all made up. It doesn't matter. We don't have to have really strict rules about it. But I didn't want to make that statement with my lore. And I didn't want them to be the same place. A lot of people are trying to explain how Witch Shelby is a past life of Shrub, or is Shrub somehow but doesn't remember. They are not the same person, not in any way, shape, or form. They are not related. They are not ancestors. They are not connected. They are not anything to each other. But the Evermore is 1,000 years after where the original gnomes lived. Because what you didn't maybe catch was that there were no gnomes in the Undergrove. That's not where the gnomes ever lived. That was only where Shrub lived. But Shelby, I must have connections with season 1 and 2 to survive. Scott, I know so many people want this. Or connections between me and Wizard Gem, which I keep having to shut down. I'm like, no, they're different. They're different. They're not the same. They're not connected. There's a wizard and a witch. They're different things. Listen. Are you connecting your lore at all with season 1? Am I allowed to ask? What have you revealed? What's going on over there? Or are you also someone that's like clean slate, absolute fresh? I know we love making like little nods to season 1. At least I do. Me, Sausage, and Pix will reference the demon a lot, which is maybe a bad thing because a lot of people think he's coming back. And I think I can very confidently state that he's not coming back. But I like giving little nods, and that is the only connection, is that the Evermore is what was the original Gnome Land, but 1,000 years after it was destroyed by Zornoth, and Shrub ran it away from it and left, and then founded the Undergrove alone. She didn't have any other gnomes. Whoever survived the attack on the Gnome Land went into that. I'll actually explain this in depth because it is very confusing. And there will be more revealed, and there's always more to be revealed in my solo Shrub episode that I'm gonna have come out. But clean slate with more little nods and references. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's pretty split between half the empires want it to be like connected in some way, but not necessarily where their characters are the same person or a past life or anything like that. Or it's just clean slate and they'll make a little funny reference to it sometimes. It's really, we're not planning that much in advance either. We're just making it up as we go. So, but to explain the lore that I revealed in my last episode, because a lot of people got real confused from it. We found a very big decaying circle of mushrooms. We know that a little circle of mushrooms is a very significant thing. Gnomes believe in magic that connects them with the woods and the forest spirits and sprites and things that live in the woods that are magical, mystical beings. They're all very close and tied and connected to them. So fairy circles are not uncommon for any gnome. But those rotting mushrooms have been just emitting smoke. I thought this was the coolest accidental thing, so I didn't mean for the fog to come from old mushrooms, but that's essentially the same thing as having mold building up in your house. And I have been seeing things. I have been hearing voices. I've just been poisoned by mold. I got mold in the brain. And it's just been spreading, plus like magic shit and stuff that I can't explain because it's magic. I could just explain it away as it's magic. But 1,000 years before the Evermore was the Evermore, it was the Gnome Land with vast, big, giant mushrooms and hills and farms. But Xornoth came. He destroyed everything. Whoever survived the attack of the gnomes, they went through that portal which Shelby found, which Shrub didn't know. Shrub doesn't know that still, because Shrub never saw that portal. She ran away. She got separated from her family, ran away. I think what I said in season 1, but I can retcon and say whatever I want about it. I think she said she ran away and found a different portal of her own and then ended up where she built the Undergrove with the other empires. So that is just somewhere unknown in the world at this point. And I also referred to them as realms as a little sneaky way of cheating. They're not maybe in a different dimension, but could be in a different dimension, but we're going to refer to it as a realm, which I'm pretty sure they do in Lord of the Rings when they refer to like the Hobbit's realm and whatever, but they're all actually still on the same planet or whatever. So I was a little sneaky with that one. I didn't decide definitively if they're in a different universe or dimension rather. And even if they are, it doesn't break anything. It could be a different dimension. There's all sorts of dimensions connected by portals at this point, so who cares? I thought you said she fell into the dimension where the Undergrove was. I don't think I said it like that. I am very specific with how I word things. I might have said dimension at some point by accident. It really doesn't matter. It could be a different dimension. It doesn't change anything, to be honest. Dude, we're just going in and out of portals all the time. It doesn't really affect the story if I did or not. But she ran away. I might change it now that I have a second story to connect to it. I'm saying she ran away, found a different portal or something that led her into where the empires are, because she needed to get far away. Made the Undergrove, then Xornoth followed her, started to destroy empires and all of that stuff, and then she went back into the portal with all of her wolves, and she said, I'm going to go find my people, because I think that maybe they're out there. I can feel it, I can tell. But she didn't know that when she got separated from them and ran away to where the empires are, that whoever did survive of the gnomes made their own portal and went through that. So we don't know where they are. We don't know where Shrub is. And that's all going to get answered in my solo Shrub episode. And I have so much I want to say about what's going to happen in that, but I can't. But one little thing that I will tell you that she's going to... No, I can't ruin any of it. I really got to keep it under lock and key. I really want to say all of it right now, though. But... So basically, you've been tripping on shrooms this season. Basically, that's exactly what I am saying. That's basically exactly what I'm saying. And her goal now is realizing that whoever is in the Evermore are any of the lost souls of the gnomes that didn't make it, plus anyone that has since wandered into this fog that's just been building and building, couldn't find their way back out, also are getting affected by this shroom smoke and are hearing things, seeing things, getting lost and dying. They're also in there. Some of them probably pissed off. One of them being pretty bad, whichever one took over Cub. Just some random baddies that are now also in the fog because they're mad about it. You know, spirits, they either become a good little ghost or a bad little ghost. And we got to mix. There's no Xornoth in there, though, I'll tell you up front. I had to sit and explain the end of Season 1 Empire's Discard the other night, and it sounds like we were all just on some weird drugs when we came up with it when you say it all together. And that's the beauty of just improv. And that's how you know none of Empires has ever been scripted, because we don't know what in the hell we're doing at any given episode. We are making it up as we go every single time. Like right now, I didn't realize that what I'm implying is that she was on drugs the whole time. This is some Alice in Wonderland kind of a situation, and I didn't mean for that to be the answer, but it is. Originally the fog was going to be a little fire left in the middle from Zornoth that had just still been burning and emitting smoke. But then when me and Pix went and built, Pix is going to put out an episode of us building those mushrooms, the decaying ones. After we built them, I was like, wait, it makes so much more sense that the mushrooms decaying themselves are the thing that's making the fog in the first place. Plus a bunch of bad ghosts vibes mixed in, and just like, you know, a big bad place of bad energy lingering. But the Evermore itself as a forest, I think, wants life in it again. And that's why people keep getting called in, but then they get lost and then they die. And the Evermore just wants to have it be a home for people again. So now my goal as Great Witch Shelby is build homes, plop down some mangrove logs, attach a lost spirit to it, and we have living creatures back in the Evermore and lost souls, not so lost anymore because they have a body and can have a new kind of a life. They're not human by any means. They're still a spirit, but attached to a little wood body. But that's her goal and what she believes will fix the Evermore and maybe create a whole new place. It is no longer the Gnome Land. It is the Evermore now. But also, I do wish I called it maybe the Nevermore, but that's now being used by Wednesday. What happened to the Academy? Are they still mad? Yeah, I'm going to reveal that after the Hermitcraft. Hold on, I have to sneeze. You ever sneeze once? Because usually not me. Yeah, I'm going to have... There's a big reveal for what's been going on in the witch world this entire time. Because there's been stuff happening in the witch world the entire time that she's thinking she's getting away with hiding from them. And as soon as I come back from the Hermitcraft side, it's all going to kick off. I'm so excited. I'm a 2 sneeze girly. I'm a 3 usually. But I'm a 1 hiccup girly. If I get a hiccup, it's once and then it's done for the day. I don't know why. It's weird. But I do apparently sneeze just one time. It might be this guy. I'm not really sure. He might be making my nose a little irritated. Someone pooped. So yeah, that's about where we are with Empire's lore and stuff. Ooh, you know what? There is something I want to mention. I don't know that anyone here are people that were at these shows for Lovejoy, but there were a lot of people that I think have never been to shows, so they don't really know what's like the etiquette of being at a show. And I think a lot of them were being like a Twitch chat and more like as if they're at a meet and greet, because that's maybe all that they know at this point. But there were a lot of people in the front with like little gifts that they wanted to give the boys on stage, but too many of them were trying to get their attention throughout the entire show, and in a frantic way that made the boys think something was wrong. Because usually in a show, if you're trying to like wave down one of the people on stage, it's because something bad is happening. Someone needs water, is passing out, is not feeling good. That's usually what that signals. But it was happening too much with people that just wanted to give them stuff, and that's not something you really should do while they're amidst performing. It's not really something, it's not the time for that, and it's such a sweet thing that you want to do, but it's so distracting for them who are trying to do something for you. They want to play for you. And I think there was a lot of people trying to wave them down from the stage while they're doing their show. And you know, maybe we let them do their show. There's always, not always, but there's sometimes times after the show is over, and maybe not always, and that's okay. We have to be okay with that. But I think generally trying to like really frantically wave down someone on stage at a show, it usually gives the signal that something bad is going on in the crowd and someone needs help. We shouldn't do it to just try and get their attention to give them gifts, because it's distracting. It kind of throws off their whole rhythm with their show that they're putting on for you, and that it is for you. You paid money to be there, but definitely not the time and place for that. That's more like meet and greet vibe, is to like try and get them to take your gift and like want to just say something nice. That's not really the best time for it. You don't want to distract them while they're like, they have a flow up there. I've never been part of a band. But when you're on stage performing with 3 other people with music that you created and you're sharing it with your audience, you get in a vibe, right? You get in a rhythm and you don't want to throw them off. I want to sit there and enjoy it. I also see a lot of phones go up all the time. I don't think this is a bad thing either. I think a lot of people shit on people who are in audiences that have their phones out a little bit often. Maybe some people don't love it. I think that's an opinion that you're allowed to have a different one of. But it is funny when they all come out, all the phones go up at the same time. I don't think it's a really horrible bad thing if you want to have some things to remember. Especially, I always think of everything I'm doing now as stuff that I will like tell as stories when I'm an old lady to my grandkids and stuff. And I want to have photos and things to show them of all of the experiences and stuff. So I get wanting to do that. But it is just funny also at the same time to see everyone whip them up in unison, perfectly in sync. I would never do it for the entire show, though. I whipped mine out. I took some videos, some pictures, because they had some moments that I thought were cute. Quackity being on stage, I really wanted photos of that for them. Other people got way better photos than I did, because I was all the way in the back. But I think try and have like a mix of take photos and have these memories so you can look back at them, because they're special for so many people. And some of us can't just use our memory to go back. We have to like physically look at it again to really be able to recall that moment. But then also let yourself just enjoy the show a little bit in between, you know, put it down for a song and just kind of vibe out. That's part of like what's such a great experience with live shows, vibing out. There's an energy that like is shared between you and the people on stage. One woman at one of the shows, it was like an older, I think it was a mom, someone's mom. She put her flash on for her video and she's at the back. So everyone in front of her turns around and they're all lit up by her flashlight. And I kid you not, they all had the biggest stink face when they all turned and were like, what's going on over here? It was so funny to see them all illuminated by this flashlight. Like, what are you doing? Don't put your flashlight on when you're taking a video, for the love of God, please. Tell your parents. Let them know. You're not supposed to do that. Please. I know photos look better sometimes with the flash on, but definitely don't do it with the video. Honestly, don't do it with the flash either. I don't think that's the best move either in a live show. In a small venue especially. I think we just say no to flash in those moments, probably. These are things that I think people don't know because we went through like 3 years of pandemic lockdown. And a lot of the kids growing up with this music that they're into now were too young to have been going to shows before. And now we're old enough and they've never been to a live show. But maybe they've been to a meet and greet or a panel or something at a convention and they don't know show etiquette. They don't know like what are you supposed to do? A lot of people come in here and they don't know Twitch etiquette either. I don't think it's a bad thing. None of them are mean-spirited ever. They're nice people. But time to learn. Time to learn some of the live show etiquette, I think. But hey, just go out there and be nice at the very least. Just be a nice person. That usually doesn't go wrong. Really usually can't go wrong with that. In a theater concert hall, flash does nothing except annoy people. Yeah, I think just in a show setting where like the lights are all down and they have like lights are part of the performance too. I thought actually their show 3 nights ago, the show last night too. The lights were so sick on stage. You don't want to take away from that or like ruin it. Or also the boys, I think from the stage they only see like a black sea little heads bopping around. I don't think they want to see a flash randomly here and there. It could be very distracting. That's part of a live show etiquette. Also, definitely theater. You never do that in a theater either. Live, like, bands are a little bit different. Sometimes you get away with a flash here and there. I don't know if, I think bands feel differently about that. Who knows? But definitely don't try and wave down to get the attention of the people performing mid-show. I don't think that's usually ever a good idea unless someone needs help. That happened a couple times at the England shows. It got really, really hot in some of the venues. Some people were really struggling to like stand up and they needed help. They needed some water. They needed to sit down because it was a standing only venue. So that's like a universal signal when you start waving at the band to like, hey, could you stop for a second? We need help. You shouldn't do it for any other reason. Don't lock your knees, kids. What does that mean? What do you mean don't lock your knees? Yeah, that was scary. James taught people in the crowd how to wave down the band. Usually it's a X with your arms, but even just like, if you don't know that, that's okay. If you just start waving your hands for their attention, it should only be for like something really important. You shouldn't want to stop them or distract them for any other reason. Locking your knees can cause you to pass out. Wait, is that real? Wait, I didn't know that. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Hey, you're at a live show. It's in your best interest to jump around a little bit then. Bend your knees a bit. Do a little moving. Do a little dancing. Get them knees bent a bit. I didn't know that. Whoa. Yeah, I think some people also are like and there's not a problem with this. I do this too, or I used to at least more as a kid. I didn't know how to be in a crowd for a show, and I just was happy standing still, listening to my music, just smiling. I didn't know. I wouldn't sing. I wouldn't jump. I just kind of would stand there and enjoy my music, and I think it was probably a little weird for my friends around me, but that's how I enjoyed live shows when I was a teenager. I think I was a little bit awkward, didn't know how to move my body, and I didn't want to. I wanted to stand still and just listen, but live was the vibe for me. But I move a little more now. I'm a little bit more comfortable with doing that. But this makes so much sense not to lock your knees. And I think some other people are like that too, where they're not thinking about moving their body or anything, or they're a little awkward with it. I don't know how to dance or anything like that. So sometimes I just stand still in my corner and just listen to my live music, and I enjoy it very fine like that. But don't lock your knees. We all just learned that one today. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, I never really preferred shows that were standing, but I think now I'm okay with it. As a kid, it kind of always sucked. And you do just kind of lock your knees when you're stiff for that long from standing, but try to bend them. Try to move a little bit. Bop your feet, tap your foot, bend the knee a little bit. Something like that. As a short person, it sucks. I know. Girl, I know. I was at the back at the show 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago. Last night we were up. They had like a special balcony for VIP, but the other show a couple nights before that, they didn't have that. So I was just at the back, and I could not see over anybody's head, especially because all the parents were at the back where I was standing. So I was behind all the parents that were taller, and I could barely see, but that's okay. I even have those white docs that I have. Their platform, they boost me like 2 inches, and even then, still too short. Yep. I hear something. Hi. Oh, it's just the song. It's literally tapping in the song. I was like, what am I hearing? There's Star. Being just a little angel. So yeah, that's what I've been up to in the last few days. A lot of big things, a lot of stuff going on. I don't think I have anything else. I don't think I have anything else I can show off or talk about specifically, but feel free to ask any questions. I also have just had my lunch here next to me the entire time. And I bought my own chopsticks when I went to Koreatown with Tay, Elena, and Kara, and I got my own chopsticks because I like eating with chopsticks sometimes. And these are so cute. I love them. Yay. So I have that. And I got Kewpie mayo, and I've been ordering poke bowls every single day and just drenching it in Kewpie mayo. And I think that's maybe not good for me, but I don't care. Because it feels like it's good for me because I'm eating a lot of fish. And not a whole ton of the rice. I actually don't like how much rice they put in there. It's almost too much rice, but I like these. I got a whole set of them. But these are the cutest ones. These ones have the cutest little pattern. It kind of reminds me of Hungarian ceramics. All of the ones I got are blue patterns, but these are the nicest. I like these the most. I wish they all had this pattern, actually. But yeah. I might not watch the Tommy video on stream with you, but you should definitely go watch it because it was really fun. It was really funny. And I think you'll see me in some more in the future, too. I have not watched Wednesday yet, but it's on my list. In fact, I'll probably watch that on my plane home to see my family. That'll probably be the time for that. But yeah, I don't have any other fun things to show off, unfortunately. I got a cat. I'm losing my voice. We'll have a rat SMP episode out soon. We'll have a rat stream soon. We'll have... Oh, I want to show you a picture actually from the recording. Because because it was really funny. If you already watched it, even if you didn't already watch it, there was a point in the video where I got tagged. So I was hiding, but I got tagged. So that meant I became a hunter because, you know, it's a prop hunt. That's how that works. But when I died, I was disguised as an ocelot in Minecraft. And when I came back as a hunter, I still was an ocelot. But the game still gave me like a first-person view. So I had this little cat hand. I had this little teeny ocelot cat hand that just was on my screen the whole time I was running around. And I couldn't stop laughing about it, but no one else could enjoy how funny it was for me to be a cat 2 blocks tall, because I still had POV as if I was a person. Oh, no, I didn't. I had POV as if I was a cat still. But I just look tall in this photo, I think because I'm on a block. But I had a little hand, and I could hold a sword in it. But then the hand would disappear, and it just would show the sword. But I had a little ocelot hand, and it was so funny. I really liked being a little ocelot hunter. It was so fun. My little paw. It was so good. Yeah. Are my plants real? Absolutely not. No, they are not real. When is the Where Shrub Went video coming out? Either end of December, early January. I don't have a date, but that's roughly around when that should be happening. It looks like a piece of corn. What corn? What corn are you eating? A piece of corn? I don't want to know where you're getting your corn from. That doesn't look like corn to me. I don't know what corn you're eating. Oh, man. I don't know if I'll be live for the event tomorrow for rats, but I do really want to be. And I think there's a good chance that I could be. It's always a little just earlier than I'm about and ready to go on stream for. But I'll do my best. I will try. And then I'm also going to try and edit the Rat SMP episode for YouTube tomorrow to release the next day. Hopefully. Oh, man. Let me read all the subs that have happened through this stream that I didn't read any of at any point. Also, Scott, are you still here? What do you think of this sweater? I don't know how to wear it, but I have, like, some ideas, but it's just kind of not shaped perfectly the way I wish it was, like I would want. But it came from a thrift shop, 100% wool, handmade, Ralph Lauren, $40. Felt like a steal. It's a small. It fits me. I wish it was a little bit shaped differently. But I'm going to try, after the stream is over, I'm going to try and, like, wear it today. I'm in sweatpants because I'm cold. So it's a sweatpants time right now. I really want to wear it with a tan skirt, like a light tan. But I wish that the bottom went farther so that only the skirt barely peeked out. I would like that more. But I also have been wearing too much my high-waisted black shorts that have, like, the 6 buttons down the front. Is the shrub video really long? My man, it hasn't happened yet. It's not been made yet, so I couldn't tell you how long it is. Honestly, probably about a regular episode of Minecraft, like 20 minutes. Maybe 25, but it hasn't been made yet, so I couldn't tell you how long it's gonna be. It's okay. I just don't know yet. I'm actually, originally I was planning on releasing it as like a whole entirely separate video from anything else I'm doing, as just like a solo Where Shrub Went kind of a video. But now I'm actually thinking I might include it as a Season 2 Empires episode of just flashing to where she is in the past as a bonus. But I also don't want people to think Shrub is not coming to Season 2. I'm going to make that clear and explicit now. I'll reveal where she is. You'll know where she is out in the world at this moment in time in Empire Season 2, whether she's alive or not, because that's also 1,000 years. Gnomes don't live that long. But you'll see how it ends with where Shrub is at the end of that episode. But she is not going to appear in season 2 as Shrub as like a character at all. That is separate and only for season 1. But I am thinking of having this episode just kind of be like a flashback moment to see where did that shrub gnome that I mentioned the last episode go. And I'll show you how it ends, where she might be 1,000 years later. I'm not going to say if she's dead or alive because gnomes don't live 1,000 years, but I have an answer for what her ending is and like, you know, where she might be during Empire Season 2 happening if she's around, but she will not appear as a character. I'll tell you that. Everyone's saluting Shrub. I'm not going to tell you if she's dead or alive, because I also have lots of ways for her to still be out there in a way, but I think you're really going to like how it ends. I have so many like little... You're going to love it, and I really just want to tell you how it ends, but I can't. You have to watch the video. Why couldn't Jem just magically make her alive still? Because I don't want that to be... I don't want her back. I'm going to be really blunt with that one. I'm not trying to make Shrub come back in season 2. I'm playing a new character. I like my new character. Shrub has her story. I'm going to end it. You can see where she is, what happened to her. It's a very happy ending. You really are going to love it. I don't want her to just be another character to bring back for no reason. That's a story that's done, or will be done. I'm not trying to have a character. I don't need Jem to magically make her alive again just so that I can play Shrub again. I don't want to play Shrub again. I'm playing great with Shelby now. You know what I mean? We're on to a new character. But I'm going to give you a very good ending to Shrub, and you're going to love it. And I'm not saying if she's dead or alive during the events of season 2, but she is not coming back as a character, not because I can't find a way magically to make her appear, because I don't want to. I want that to be a separate story. I linked to their stories a little bit with the Gnome Land being the Evermore Now, but that is the extent to their connection, and Shrub is not coming back as a character to be played by me in Empire Season 2. That doesn't vibe with me. I want to play Great with Shelby and tell her story now. You know? I can make, I think that's something that when you get into a series like several seasons in, we can't keep making all the characters the same person, and we can't keep bringing them all back to still be alive in the world at the same time. And I don't want to keep trying to do that at all, as much as we love our characters from season 1, and how much we will love our characters from season 2 when season 2 is over. And if there's a 3, how much we'll love our season 3. But we can't do that every time. It isn't good story writing, in my opinion, as much as we'd love for all of them to exist all at the same time, because we just love them that much. But it doesn't make sense. I don't like it as a story writer to just make up a reason for them to be around still so that we have 2 characters that we loved at the same time. That's why we set it so far in the future. We wanted to eliminate anyone thinking that the other empires are out there on another side of the globe. They're not. They're not out there. They're gone now. But in like the nicest way. And that's up to each creator how they are ending their characters and where they went and stuff. You know, you watch their lore and stuff. Sausages is very complex with his lore, but he's having a bunch of visions. I don't know what that's about. But you know, we gotta be open to new stories and new characters and let go of the past ones and be happy with their nice happy endings. Or sometimes people might make sad endings. Like Scott's season 1 character, I'd say a pretty sad ending for him. But that's his prerogative as a story writer. I thought it was a really cool way to like wrap up and write his character ending. So, and that's how he chose to do it. Would you ever consider doing a behind the scenes episode going over your creative process writing? No. Because you know what? I kind of do it on stream. That's kind of what streams where I talk about empires end up being. I don't think I'd ever make a YouTube video out of it. But I talk about like my thought process of different pieces of lore and like how I came to a decision on stream all the time. Thoughts on the possible Origins to come back? I said I wouldn't play on Origins again alone. That's all I ever said. I will definitely play if there are other people to play with. And it sounds like soon there might be other people to play with. But all I said was I would not play on Origins again alone. There's no fun in playing an SMP by yourself. But there might be some people interested in hopping on soon, so I will also potentially be hopping on. Has a viewer's idea ever gotten a part of Shubble's season 1 or season 2 lore? Sometimes, because sometimes, especially season 1, because it was live so much, some like bits of lore we all made up together on stream. And so like we worked together on making a story, like a part of the story together. But I have never gotten an idea from my comment section. And a lot of people love to say that their idea was used when I happened to have the same idea as their comment on the video. But I don't ever take ideas from the comments on an episode, because at that point, I already had the idea before I saw their comment anyway. But people like to take credit for it anyway. Only sometimes on live stream, I ask you guys to like help me. Like, how should this go? Like, what are some ways I can tell this story? And sometimes I use your ideas from stream. But never YouTube comments. Usually those come too late, and I just already have the idea that I'm going with. Also, sometimes I already have the idea I'm going with live. But yeah, sometimes we work together on it. Zornoth became a part of lore live. That was not planned at all. Scott just came to mess with me in my empire randomly, and then it became a whole thing. That's how you know it isn't scripted, because a lot of people try and say that Empire Season 1 or 2, or either of them, or both of them, were scripted. No one has ever scripted this series. The worst is when you have a super fun secret idea, then someone in chat says it, and you're like, that's what, me revealing that the Evermore was the Gnome Land. There's a few people trying to take credit, like, she listened to my idea, and I'm like, I love you. It's a great idea. I had it before you, though. I'm sorry. It wasn't yours that I got it from, but, you know, it's just great minds think alike, but you didn't do that. That's not yours to take credit for. Sorry. Or a lot of them were saying that they were correct in guessing that the Evermore was the Undergrowth, because they thought that's what my lore was revealing, and I had to go and burst their bubble and be like, actually, that's not what happened at all. I have been getting really long paragraph comments on my YouTube videos of people explaining how Shelby is Shrub but doesn't remember. And it's so creative, but I just can't stop myself from replying and saying, nope, I'm sorry, but no, no. Or that they're ancestors, but Shrub was a gnome. Shelby's a human. They're not even the same kind of a guy, you know? But I love their ideas. Like, you guys have such good ideas that you need to be out there writing your own characters at this point. Like, you got to go play D&D, and you got to make a Minecraft server and make your own characters. But they go and make, like, paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of telling the story that they want to be my lore, and then I just got to go in and say, sorry, but no, that doesn't make sense for what I already have going on in here. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to burst your bubble. But no, they're not the same person. I just don't want to do that every season, that they're just still the same person every time. I couldn't do it. But would Shrub and Shelby be friends if they met? They never could, but if they did, definitely. They definitely would be friends. They'd be the best girly friends ever. Can you say what's the difference between a wizard and a witch? Oh, I'm not like withholding that information when you say yet. I just don't. One's a witch and one's a wizard. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We're just making sure that it's separate so that people know the witches stuff isn't connected to the wizard stuff from Gem Season 1. Because that's not my lore. And I'm not going to try and impose any lore on Gem Season 1 character by making mine connected to it in any way. I'm just saying it so that witches are a whole separate world of beings. And my academy and my stuff going on with Witch Shelby is not connected to Gem at all. Again, 1,000 years later. I don't know if Gem has said where her character would be now, but like, I don't know, probably dead. Probably gone. And maybe there's like a world where there's a little bit of connection where it was just the first magic school and many more magic schools happened later. But this one's a witch one, so it wasn't made by her or is an ancestor of her academy at all or anything like that. But I'm just saying that so that I'm not making decisions about the wizard world. I'm making decisions about my witch world. I could say maybe witches were born with magic and wizards got magic later. But I don't know how Jem's lore in season 1 goes with how she's magic like a wizard. So I don't even want to say that. Empire's Jem is dead confirmed. That's what's going to happen. It's going to go on Twitter and they're going to be like, Shelby just confirmed that Jem is dead in season 2. She said all her characters are the same person, just role-playing different characters. Does she mean including season 1? Listen, I'm not Jem, so that'll be a question for Jem. I do know that's how she's doing her Hermitcraft and Empire season 2 characters right now. They're the same person, but role-playing on both servers, which I thought's so funny. No, she said season 1 was different. Okay, that's what I thought. I think she only means that for these characters she's playing right now. I think she just means that for the Hermitcraft Jem and Empire season 2 Jem are the same person. Which I said, I love that idea that it's like Hannah Montana living the best of both worlds. She just shows up and is like, whoa, what's going on over here on Empires? But it's the same Jem, and then she runs around a wall and then comes out in a different outfit and a wig. Except it's not a wig, but, you know, Hannah Montana. And then she's like, well, what's happening over here on Hermitcraft? What's a hermit? But she's the same Jem, and I think that's so funny. I really love that. I think that's so good. Yeah, she excluded Wizard Jem because I think she's another one it's clean slate. Season 1's done. We told that story. That's, I think, how a lot of people feel when they make a character. I think fans of the characters really want to see those connections because they want to have a world where those characters are tied together and can exist together because they love them both so much. But as people who make the characters, we don't want that at all. We want almost so much separation between them. But I do love giving little nods to, like, we're still existing in the same universe, so we can still reference and have little moments where we can show a connection. But I'm not trying to make every character I ever make be the same person on every Minecraft server forever. That's not going to be fun storytelling, I don't think, for me. I like starting a fresh one sometimes. But I like also leaving little breadcrumbs and, like, just a little nod to season 1 and be like, yeah, I remember you. I'll never forget you, in fact. Yep. I love all my characters I've ever made, though. All of them are ace. I said that once. Any OC of mine, ace. Automatically, by default. Are they the same kind of ace? No. They're all going to be different. But all ace. Because I'm allowed to do that, and I can do that across every character I've ever made. Mickey, Charlie, Shrub, Witch Shelby, Agent Shed. Shoot. What other characters have I made? Olive? Anyone around for that one? Anyone know what I'm talking about when I reference my character Olive, who existed for like 2 live streams during like a one-shot campaign of, I think it's called Masks is the system. I made a character called Olive. I also had a personal character on a D&D campaign. Her name was Tony. I have a theme that I usually tried to stick with my role-playing characters, that I like boy names. Like, they have a very feminine full name, but their nicknames are very boyish, and I love doing that. So that's Mickey, Charlie, Tony. I've done it before, too, with more, but I think I'm running out of names. But I like doing that. And I think that's probably why someone on Tumblr sent me an ask and said, are you aware that you make a lot of characters that a lot of people headcanon as non-binary? And I was like, I think I can see where that's coming from a little bit. And I kind of love that. Also, I completely forgot about Sylvie and Grace. Those are also super obscure, short-term lived characters that Sylvie was from the Banner Saga. So, like, that was like a different kind of roleplay world. One of them doesn't actually understand it and thinks, wait, people are asking what their fave card is in the deck of... Wait, what do you mean? What does this mean? My train of thought has gone all over the place, and now I don't know what we're referring to anymore. What their favorite card is in a deck of cards. Hi, H! H is sending me a mug! When you said they were all ace. Oh! I'm sorry that my brain moves too fast, and I forgot I even was talking about that. They just don't know. They're like, are you ace of spades? H has mug merch, by the way. He said he released it 2 days ago. Go buy his mugs. He's sending me one of them. He's sending me the cat pun, because I love that one the most, because I'm a cat mom. I'm a cat woman. I love my cat. That's my cat. So go by H's mugs. His mugs with puns, which I said could be called pugs, but no one thought that was funny. And maybe it isn't, but I wanted to try again with you guys to see if anyone liked it. I'm Mug Boy. H's Mug Boy. Oh, man. I have a book named Ace of Spades. Is it about ace people or is it about cards? Single laugh. Awkward laugh. It wasn't good. It wasn't good the first time, and it wasn't good the second time either. But you know what? I had a new audience I had to try it out with. Yeah. Oh, I was going to read the subs, and I completely forgot I said that. This is how fast my brain moves, and I forget. But I think we just named every character I've ever made. Nearly. Oh, and I have a D&D character now whose name is Socks, and he's a cat. And it's spelled S-O-X, just like the Lightyear movie, because I really liked Socks in the Lightyear movie a lot. So I made a character based on that guy, but also based on this guy right here. So I have a guy named Socks, and he's a big boy. He's a big boy cat. There's a black cat, and he's a little bit fat, and I love him a lot. And I only played him once, but I really want to play him again. Now Wilbur is in town. He was our DM it was just me, Megan, and Joey, and Wilbur DM'd for us, but we only did it once because he can't come around here all that often, or he couldn't until he got a visa, but now he can come around as much as he wants to, so we can keep doing our D&D campaign, which I'm excited to get back into playing Socks. My brain does work too fast. And that's why sometimes I talk fast, because I have to get through a thought, because I have to get to the next thought I've already had, like, waiting in a queue in my brain before I forget. Then I have to get through that one to get to the next 100 that I also have in that queue. All at once. They happen simultaneously. How did you find people to play D&D with? I asked my friends. Megan and and Joey have played D&D before. So I just asked them if they want to play D&D. All you gotta do is ask your friends if you wanna. I don't think I would ever DM, but that's why we get on so well, because you understand. Me and Scott we'll start talking to each other. I understand his accent no problem these days. Although we were talking about you recently, Scott, and we were talking about whether we think you have a stronger Scottish accent like a few years ago than you have now, or do we just understand you better now, so it sounds easier to understand, but it hasn't actually changed. We came to the conclusion it's a little bit of both, but I've been friends with Scott for such a long time now that I know what he's saying at all times, no matter how thick his accent might get, and then we'll start talking, and then we'll pick up speed, and we'll just go back and forth, and other people probably don't even know what I'm saying anymore, because I'm just going too fast, but we zoom through the conversation, and we know. We went back to your old videos. That's actually what we did. We pulled up your old videos, and we were like, you just sound a little bit more Scottish a few years. We went to like 5-6 years ago, like around the time that we started to get to know you. And you maybe sounded a little bit more Scottish than you do now. And maybe that's because you've been living in England, in Brighton now for a while. But I also think it's a big part. We just have known you for such a long time that we understand you better than we did when we first met you. So a little of both. A little bit. You're a little bit less thick of a Scottish accent, I think, than you originally had. That you're like a little bit easier to understand. And also, we've known you for a long time. Who is we? Me and H. Who is here also. And Elena. There were a couple other people at the table, but they didn't know who you were. So it was basically me, H, and Elena. We're like, does he have a thicker Scottish accent now? Or do we just know him better now? But mainly me and H were the ones debating because we knew you the most. Or for the longest, not the most. But we were also trying to figure out how we all met each other. And me and H can't like lock down where the beginning was. And me and you can't remember like what is the first thing that had us meet each other. And I don't remember how we met. Like, I'm not sad about not remembering. It's just really funny that also H doesn't remember either now. It's just so long ago. I don't know what came first. I don't remember if I think I knew H before I knew you. And I met him through like a couple Q people. But I don't remember where we met. We might have known each other online already at that point. From Harmony Hollow or something. But I don't know what order things happened in anymore. I don't know. You knew H for longer. I think you knew Cube people before I knew any Cube people. And I met Cube people after the Cube wasn't a Cube anymore. They weren't the Cube. They had already disbanded when I met H. But I think we had played on Harmony Hollow before that. But I met H at a Minecon party. And he was like, yeah, I was part of this thing called the Cube. It's not really a thing anymore. And I was like, I never heard of that. But I don't remember what order things happened. And it's also long ago. That was literally 6-7 years ago. Because I didn't live in LA yet. That feels like a lifetime ago. The fact I can even have to reference back to having met you 6 or 7 years ago. It's that long ago. Oh my goodness. I was telling some stories with some people yesterday, like Minecraft people, like Quackity and H and Wilbur. And they don't have any stories of that long ago with reference to people that they met online through streaming and stuff. Because they weren't around doing it for quite as long as we have been. So it's weird that we went through so many eras of streamer life and YouTuber life. I wasn't a streamer till like 3 years ago. But we went through so many different eras. We've witnessed so much. And we're still here. That's really amazing. Hopping Peaches, thank you for the 103 bits. I really appreciate it. There's just been so many things that have happened. Oh my gosh. It's like historical events in terms of the YouTuber world we've witnessed. And I'm such a different person from... I've been like 24 different people in the course of all of those years. Probably even more, if I'm being honest. Hey, welcome, Raiders! Hey, welcome! Thank you for the raid. Hey, we're just here chatting, telling little stories, having a good time, vibing out, listening to some lovely non-copyright math rock, and rocking out. Welcome, dudes. Thank you for raiding. Hello, everybody. You know what I want to do really quickly while you're just getting in here and zooming? I'm going to zoom and read through all of the subs really quickly that have happened because I didn't read any of them from the entire stream. Osmos, also known as Junie, Pippi, Xylophone Home, Ari the Ginger Witch, Nismo, Trenix, It's Juzza, Is a Crimson, Yevil Angel, Ace Please, Architox, The Blood Prince, W4 Wumbo, K-Cat, Alice, Profi Sloth, One with Sketch Cookie, Marvel Who, Mischievous One, Sunset, Runa, Infinite Shadow Knight, Ocelot, West, The Bomb, Red Cinder, Jay Ronies, Rachel Bria, Charlie Doggett, Chris Garado, Charlene, Star Joy, thank you for the gifted 5, holy cow, Mel Non-Binary Pal, Laborer, Natalie, Relinda, Sensibly Relieved, and we're all caught up. Thank you guys all for subscribing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining. Welcome. We here and vibing. That's what we do. You know, my friend is really dumb because she thinks streaming and playing Minecraft is being stuck in a childish phase and it's not a real job. I think that the thing that I don't understand about people that are like, get a real job is your genuine opinion that you think someone that's making a really good living doing something like playing Minecraft is worse than, like, you think they should just stop doing it even though they're making a really good living and should get a different job that will probably pay less and you have to work up a different, like, whole ladder and start at the bottom. And that's your genuine opinion, is quit the job that's paying you well now just simply because you don't agree with the job that it is. And you think I should work a different job that pays less because you think it will mean more because it's what the fuck? No, I will not go work anywhere if I don't have to and I'm making better money here. Why would you ever have that opinion? That is dumb. They should get a real job that pays less and demeans you more. Yeah, why? Explain genuinely why, and maybe I'll consider it. If you have any good actual reason for it, for me to leave this job and make less money somewhere else where they don't have respect for me as a human being, and I don't get the kind of benefits I get here, and I don't get cared for, and I don't make as much, and I'll probably have to leave my apartment and get a roommate. Yeah, that you'd respect me more because it's a real job. I don't care about your respect. Who are you? No thanks. I think I'd rather you think that I'm a child, actually. Truly, I have Pokemon and BMO in my background. Do you think I care? Nope. I do think it's a little bit of jealousy because we make our own hours. We're our own boss. It's very hard to get to the point where you can sustain and support yourself and your rent, and you got to buy your own health insurance when this is your job because they don't do that for you. You got to pay a lot of taxes, but I don't know. I'm not going to go work at Target instead. That sounds stupid. That sounds a dumber decision, actually. Not that anyone who works at Target is... I don't think that they would deny if they could have this job instead. They definitely would want it. I don't know what Target is about to work there, but I don't think anyone who works at a Target would be offended for me saying I don't want to work at a Target. Is that a TCG Pokeball or a different one? It's just a Pokeball. It just has all my tokens in it. Like, you know those little reflective tokens that usually flip to see who goes first in a TCG game? And you usually get them with, like, trainer boxes and different collector sets. I just dumped them all in there. You had 4 packs of cards in it when I bought it. It had some cards. But, yeah. I just put in my 2 weeks at the Red store. Can confirm. Hey, I hope you're getting somewhere better, though, where they treat you nice, pay you well, and you don't live to work every day of your life. I don't think that I would want the respect of someone that only would respect me if I worked a job that they deem respectable enough. I don't think that I would care about the opinion of that person very much. Because I think that that's a bad opinion. So, I think it's a bad one, actually. I'm going to go grab water really quick. And I will be right back. I'll let you observe my cat while I'm going and getting some hydration. Please also hydrate yourselves. Have a snack. Pet your cats. Start entertaining the people, please. Did you do a good job entertaining? Were you a good girl? Yeah, she's just there. She's just being a donut and just being there. Hello, hello. I'm back. She should get a real job for Scott. Here's the thing, though. Not everyone who does streaming on YouTube can say this, and I don't think that this means anything less of them, but I think it gives you a different perspective. I've worked real people jobs. They all suck. Everyone I've ever worked was awful, and I don't ever want to go back to that. Real. Scott, please. I had some interesting other, like, real people jobs. I worked at an ice rink for a while as a party host. That was the worst thing, because I was a server, technically. So I got paid under minimum wage because it was expected that I would get tipped. But people who got birthday parties at an ice rink didn't know you're supposed to tip the host because that's, you know, they're not very clear cut in America about who needs to be tipped because they're being paid under minimum wage because they're considered your server. Like a waitress is paid less because they're making money off tips, and it's fucked up. But I was also one of those people. But people didn't know party hosts also were in that boat and are supposed to be getting tipped on these parties. And I never would get tipped. Almost never. Or they'd like throw me $20 for an $800 party that, if we're being really honest, 15% is usually what you're, 15 to 20%. I don't think I would ask for 20% because the parties were really expensive. And I didn't need a tip that big. But man, for serving 35 children all at once, I think I deserved a little bit of a tip or just a pay raise, please. That was awful. It was horrible. I was good at it, though. I learned how to cut a cake, which you would think everyone should know how to do, but I did not know how to cut a cake when I first worked there, and I learned how to cut a cake properly. My cakes looked like shit the first time I cut them. Yeah, tipping culture here is weird, and there are different groups of people that you're expected to tip, and it's different amounts depending on who it is. And most people didn't know about the party host is also a group of people that need to be tipped. And I also, maybe depends on where the party's being held at, but I was not paid minimum wage. I was paid less than minimum wage and never got tipped or got thrown $20, which, I appreciated, but it was still too little. I was not being paid enough. I was paid like $7 something cents. But mind you, this was like 7-8 years ago. So still too little though. Still too little. The minimum wage was a whole different amount back then, but it was still too little. And I was paid under it. I think minimum wage at the time was like $8 something, and they paid me like $7. Because that's allowed. Because I was supposed to give a tip, and I never really did. But sometimes, very rarely, I would try and be sneaky, because I'm also, as a host, I ring them up myself at the register, but it was against the rules for me to ask them to tip me outright. But I would kind of flip the bill around and show them all of the things one at a time. So I would just point and I'll be like, here's the gratuity line. And sometimes they'd leave it blank and then throw me like a couple bucks in cash, which is nothing when you have a $900 party that I just hosted for several dozens of children. But whatever. But sometimes once I started doing this, they'd see the gratuity line and they'd put like 10%, which off a $900 party was actually a nice, decent amount of money I made that day. But it happened so rarely, but when it did, I was like, oh, I'm eating good tonight. I made a good amount of money. They put 10%, 15%. When I was a waitress, we made $265. Because at least, I say at least, but it's like common culture that you tip 15 to 20. I always tip 20 to waiters, waitresses. That's like already known knowledge, so there's an amount that you expect if people still don't do it, and it's still not how it should work, and it's still not a good thing. But I was at least making enough money I was making more than what waitresses make, but less than minimum wage and not getting tips. But no one should be relying on the customer to pay the wage of the worker, period. The worst parties I hosted, it wasn't supposed to be one person hosting parties of 30 plus kids. You're supposed to have 2, and they never did. I always had to do it alone, and that's a lot of work. And it's a lot of being aware of so many children all at once. And like the parents also just assume that you're now their babysitter. They leave when it's the kid's birthday party time. They literally fuck off, and now I'm responsible for all of your children. That's not what I'm paid for. I'm definitely not paid enough for that. I was definitely not paid enough. Those were supposed to be managed by 2 people, but we were very understaffed for parties, and they happened all the time. The parties were happening all the time, every weekend, sometimes weekdays, and I was one of the only ones that, like, anytime I was asked to work, I did it, because I just wanted money. I wanted to make money, and I was a full-time student, and any evenings and weekends that I had free, I was like, yes. Money. I want to make money tonight. And sometimes they'd pay the tip in cash. And I was like, sweet, I got money in my actual physical wallet. That's always a treat for a college student that doesn't have money or any like physical cash. Having physical cash was a whole different vibe. Because if it was in my bank account, I didn't ever want to spend it. But if they gave it to me in cash, I was like, this is money that my bank doesn't know about. Which means it's free money that I can now just spend on just like for me things. It didn't count the same, and I still have this mindset, and it's maybe a little messed up, but physical money doesn't count the same as money in my bank account. My bank doesn't know about that money, and my brain considers it a separate free money. Like it's not real money. That's money to be spent on just for fun things and like bonus stuff, not important stuff like feeding myself and paying my rent. Because it's not often that you have cash, so when you have it, you don't think of it. And it's your bank. You don't see it when you look at your balance in your bank account, which is the number that matters the most in my head to be sure it's like enough. That money in my wallet, that's not real money. That's fake money that I'm just allowed to throw out however I choose for whatever luxury or just thing I feel like. Clothes. That's how I think of it now. But even especially more now as an adult, I have cash way less often. I only get cash from selling stuff on Facebook because sometimes I sell pieces of furniture and sometimes I might even sell the docs that I was talking about on Facebook instead of Depop, but That's the only way I get cash now. And sometimes I just have a load of it and I'm like, I'm just going to throw money at people. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe my bank account should know about that money. I should just put it in there. But sometimes I like going to a place and I have a really good experience and I really want to extra tip my server. So I give them like 40% because I'm like, this is not real money in my wallet. So I just leave it on the table and I'm like, I did a good deed and it feels good. And then I get to leave and that money wasn't real in the first place in my mind. So I didn't lose anything. Or like if I'm out with friends, I'm like, I'll pay for it. And I just dump cash that I've just been sitting on for no reason. Because it'll build up over time. Because I don't think of it when I'm buying stuff. I just pull my card out. So I'll sit on money that I've been selling furniture on Facebook with. And I'll just be like, I'll pay for the meal. And throw down all the cash that I just didn't remember existed for such a long time. When I'm in America, it doesn't feel like real money. Do you get your money exchanged? Like, do you bring pounds and go to the currency exchange and get dollars? Or is it just when you're handed dollars from something as change and now you're responsible for American money? You're like, this is Monopoly money. I have a little top-up card thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. But it doesn't feel like real money. It's like a gift card that someone gave you when you come here. I never do that when I'm over there. I just use my card. But it does sound like more fun to do what you're doing. And then it's like, hey, a little bonus gift card money that I can just spend wherever I feel like it. It's not real. It's already out of my bank account. That means that's money that I don't have anymore, but it's on this other card, but that's not real anymore, so I can spend it however I feel like it. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Don't need to exchange if you go to an ATM. The thing about the ATM is that you might have a fine, or like a fee, rather, if you don't have an account with that bank. I can't even in America go to a different bank's ATM and not have to pay a fee to take cash out from my card. So I can only assume that when you come from a different country and take cash out from an ATM, you have to pay a fee. So if you just don't want to pay the $2.50, because also, I get it's only $2.50, but why does Wells Fargo deserve that more than you? They don't. And I feel very strongly about not letting them take that $2.50 out or however much. Sometimes $3. That's not a lot of money, but that adds up with a bank over time, and they don't deserve it more than me. So I don't want to pay that fee. I go out of my way to find a Wells Fargo or whatever ATM that I need to get my cash without a fee. Also, yeah, American money just doesn't look nice. Can we make it pretty? Can we have a petition to have pretty money instead? Just aesthetically, just for like the people. I feel like we deserve it. We just need a little something to feel a little better about life every day. Get handed a piece of cash money and it's pink. I feel like I'd just be a little happier about it. You know what I mean? It boosts my morale a little as a human being in this country. I might work a little harder. I don't know. It just feels like, might as well try. Couldn't hurt. Let's make it pretty. Get me on the board of whoever is in charge of designing money. And actually, I took a lot of art classes in high school. And I won a competition for redesigning the dollar bill. I forgot about that. I made a beautiful dollar bill. They genuinely should hire me. I drew like a whole ass boat. I didn't put any racist old white man on either side at all, which I think better, maybe. But I won the contest of make the better dollar bill. So that was in high school. I don't know if that really qualifies me still now. I'm not an artist, but consider it. Think about it. Pretty money. Make it aesthetically pleasing. Maybe people who get paid in cash will work a little bit harder because it's like a little bit of a, put a little puppy on there. It would just, I think, boost the morale of every American. And I think at the very least it's worth a try. Show us a photo. I wish I had one. I think actually even back at home where my parents live, they might still have it because I kept a lot of the art I made. I just remembered something. I have my sketchbooks here. It might be in there. Let's see. I actually made the decision a little while ago to bring my sketchbooks home here. So there is a tiny chance. This is my creative book, my creative nonfiction writing class book. I don't know if I would have put it in here, but I actually have my sketchbooks from high school. I only had 2. I wasn't good at art necessarily, and I didn't pursue it in any way, but there's maybe a very minuscule chance that my drawing of that dollar is in here. Can I show you, though, instead, for a moment, my drawing of Ty Lee from Avatar that I thought was really good? It is completely, this art exists online, and I looked at it and then just tried to draw to, like, practice. So it isn't an original creation or pose, but it's also not done well. But I really loved Ty Lee a lot. I thought she was the cutest little character, and I thought she looked like me a little bit, so I was like, oh, I love her. All right, so this one's mostly empty, actually, so not in here, but yeah, that was a mostly empty book. This one is from my actual classes where we did, like, competitions for stuff, and, like, we're given challenges and things. One of our challenges was draw a utensil. I drew a fork. I practiced with, like, charcoal in here poorly. I have stencils shoved in here. I tried shading also poorly. I have it! I literally have it. I literally have my dollar. I don't actually think it's that good anymore, but it was considered good enough to win at the time I was in high school, which was over a decade ago. Ew, 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 ew. Also, there's, like, stains on it. Yeah, I think, honestly, at the very least, I think it's still better than the money we have now. And I have to cover my name on here because I don't want to have it. But, and nobody cares about what I wrote about the dollar. But this is what I made, if you can even really see it. I drew the boat, like the Christopher Columbus boat. I did fancy numbers. I did an eagle and the Statue of Liberty in the back. You can't see the little details in it. It's also colored, but I think the crayon actually is, or colored pencil, is nearly completely faded. Also, you can see the stains. But I was like, it's better than what we got going on now, I feel like. It's you know, it's not hard to beat, in my opinion. What else did I do? Now I'm, like, curious. Okay, I won for that one. So that's cool. That's fun. It had colors. Hi, Star. I drew a burb. The thing was that anything I drew, I looked up on Google Images, like for the eagle. I looked up Google Images eagle. I didn't trace, but I copied, you know. I looked at it and tried to draw the same. I couldn't come up with an original drawing. That's where I would say I never progressed past the point of learning by copying for practice into drawing my own. I never got around to that. Except this one. This was oil pastels I did. I don't know if I might have made that up from my brain, but I don't know if that's good either. This is a blank piece of paper. Okay. Dodger from Oliver and Company. Cartoons were my favorite because they existed already as a cartoon that needs to be drawn a specific way. And I was like, I can do that because I can't make up my own thing, but I can copy what already exists. And yeah, that's about it. See, this is the picture of the flower I practiced shading with by trying to do it. That's kind of how you start, is by, like, for practice, but it's only things that exist in my sketchbook. I'd never post it and be like, look what I created, because it isn't my original art. But I just never progressed past that point. I just thought it was fun to draw. But yeah, that's about all of my sketches. Also, I think that's about all I'm going to do for stream today. We told a lot of stories. There's a lot that's been going on in the last few days. It was really fun to catch up because I hadn't streamed, so I was a little behind and I wanted to share. And I really encourage you to rewatch the beginning of the stream if you're interested in any of the things I listed in my tweet or in the title of all the stuff I've had going on the last week. Lovejoy shows, hanging out with Quackity, the show that I shot that's super secret, and all of the other in-between little stories, like the incident with my hair. I'm not going to retell it. You have to rewatch the stream. But thank you guys all for hanging out. This is really fun. I always like catch-up stream and just chatting and hanging out. Those are my favorites. Listen to a little music, vibe out, drink some coffee. I think you'll have a rat stream soon. I think you'll have a Hermitcraft stream soon. because I have a house to finish on Hermitcraft, and we have guests on Rats, so I'm going to try and do both maybe tomorrow, but maybe I'll separate the streams between Hermit and Rat. But Blushroom, thank you for gifting a sub. Appreciate you gifting. Thank you. I think I got all of the subs, but I have some hugs to read. People stay here long enough, they get channel points to redeem. With 10,000, you can get a hug from me. And hey, it's not a real hug, it's a virtual hug. But I appreciate that all the time you spent here, you decided to use your channel points to get a little virtual hug from me. So let me read those real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Seagull. Uh-oh, it's freezing. Oh, Mayhem, actually. Those are the only two. Yay! Thank you guys for being here. And also putting up with my, like, almost half going away voice. I'm losing it fast. It's going. I don't know why I'm adjusting the lighting now. I'm also going. But, this was fun. I love my little hanging out streams. These are really good. I hope you guys have a good time. It's a good background noise if you're doing work or we just hang out. And we'll be playing games soon. Slime Rancher 2, Hermitcraft, and Rat SMP, I think are going to be the main ones that we get up to. I'm going to have you guys raid Megan because she's also chatting, and I don't know what she has a lot to be chatting about too. We both had really big accomplishments recently, and that's why we celebrated at Cheesecake Factory, because she was helping me out big time, and she also just released her comic book. She's in the comic book world, and she just wrote her own that has 5 issues. The first one was just released, and it's so cool. So, I'm going to have you guys write her. Go be so nice in her chat. Congratulate her. Go listen to all of what she's been up to because it's been cool. And also, still keep an eye out. I think all of those mini issues of The Unleashed that we did across like 5 issues of Radiant Black, I think our goal in the future is to just compile all of those like back 5 pages that were ours from the 4 different issues into one just of our own little comic and finish and just have a complete single comic of that story that we spread out in a different comic book. I think our goal is to just put it all in our own and have our own little Unleashed single issue at least. But we love those characters so much and we want to have you have that story in one place. Because we also have a comic book together, if you didn't know that. We have a little, in Radiant Black, I don't remember which issues. I think it's 5, 6, 7, and 8. The last 5 pages were ours to tell our story with our Unleashed characters. And we want to take those pages and put them in one place, but you can still go read it. It's really good. But go raid Megan. I'm running out of time. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you guys all soon. Goodbye. Bye.